May, might, must, have to. Ugh. These four little words can cause some of the biggest headaches in English, right? But what if I told you there's a really simple way to get them right, like every single time? Well, let's dive in and finally clear up all the confusion for good.
So let's start with a classic. You blank wear a helmet when riding a motorbike. Is it must or is it have to? I mean, this one trips up pretty much everyone, even really advanced speakers. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you are going to know the answer without even thinking about it. Let's get started.
First up, let's talk about the possibility pair, may and might. Now, they both kind of suggest that something could happen, but the real secret, the key difference between them, it's all about how sure you are.
So let's look at may. It's got two main jobs. First, it suggests a pretty good solid possibility. You know, think of it like a 50-50 chance. It may rain later, means you should probably grab an umbrella. And second, it's the word you use for really formal, polite permission, like asking your boss, may I take Friday off?
Now let's talk about might. So if may is a solid 50-50 shot, might is for when you're way less certain. It's perfect for those hypothetical situations or just an educated guess. Saying she might be at the library kind of implies, well, it's a possibility, but hey, don't bet the farm on it.
So here it is, the big takeaway for these two. It all boils down to certainty. May implies a real decent chance that something's going to happen. Might signals a lot more doubt, a more remote possibility. If you think about it like a scale, may is definitely heavier than might.
All right, let's move on to our second duo, the obligation pair, have to versus must. Now, they both mean something is necessary, but the secret sauce here is figuring out who or what is making it necessary.
You're going to use have to when the obligation is coming from the outside. So think of a rule at work, a law, or just the situation you're in. It has nothing to do with your personal feelings. It's all about some external force. You know, I have to finish this by 5 p.m. That's not me talking, that's the deadline screaming at me.
Must, on the other hand, comes from the inside. It's an obligation that's driven by your own personal belief, or maybe the speaker's authority. When you look in the mirror and say, I must exercise more, that's your own conviction. And when a parent tells their kid, you must clean your room, well, that's their authority talking.
Okay, lean in for this one, because this is where the biggest mistakes happen, the negatives. You don't have to pay simply means it's optional. There's no obligation. But you mustn't smoke here is a strict prohibition. It means it is absolutely forbidden. Getting these two mixed up completely changes the meaning, so it's a really important one to get right.
But hang on, must has a secret identity. It's not always about obligation. Sometimes it's about putting on your detective hat and drawing a really confident conclusion based on the evidence you see.
So for example, if you see someone driving a brand new Ferrari and you say, wow, he must be very rich, you're not ordering him to be rich. You're making a logical deduction. You're basically saying, based on the evidence, that amazing car, I'm almost 100% certain this is true.
Okay, that was a lot, I know. So let's take a breath and recap everything with your ultimate cheat sheet. Let's put it all together.
So here it is in a nutshell. May is for a stronger possibility and that formal, polite permission. Might is for a weaker, less certain possibility. Have to is for all those external rules and laws, and must is for that strong internal obligation or when you're playing detective and making a logical deduction. Simple, right? And now for the really fun part. Let's do a quick quiz to put all your new skills to the test. You ready? Let's do this. Okay, let's circle all the way back to our very first question. You blank wear a helmet when riding a motorbike. And the clue here is, it's the law. So what do you think?
The best answer here is have to. Why? Well, because a law is the perfect example of an external obligation. Now, I'll admit, you'll definitely hear native speakers use must for strong, formal rules like this. And it's not totally wrong. But if we're sticking to the principle we just learned, have to is the most logical fit.
All right, question number 2. She blank not come. She's very busy. The key here is to remember it's just a possibility. It's not a definite fact.
And the answer is, might not. The fact that she's busy is a good clue, but it's not ironclad proof, is it? We're expressing a weaker, more uncertain possibility, and that is the perfect job for might.
Okay, number 3. We blank leave now if we want to catch the train. Ask yourself this, where's the pressure to leave coming from? Is it internal or external?
It's have to. Why? Because that train schedule is totally an external factor. It's a circumstance that has nothing to do with our personal feelings, and it's forcing us to act. We have to leave because of the train.
Next up, he blank be the new manager. And your evidence? Everyone keeps talking about him. So you can tell this is clearly a deduction.
And this is our detective clue in action. The answer, of course, is must. You've got evidence. Everyone is talking about him, and you're drawing a logical conclusion that you're very, very certain about. He must be the new manager.
And for our final question, let's test those tricky negatives one more time. You blank bring food, it's already provided. The key here is that there's a lack of necessity. The answer is don't have to. It's simply not necessary to bring food. Using mustn't here would be a huge mistake. That would mean bringing food is forbidden. And there you have it. You have officially cracked the code on 4 of the trickiest words in English. So now I'm curious, what other subtle language rules give you trouble?